Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you've not been here before, my name is Emma. This is Destination FBA and I sell on Amazon via the Amazon FBA program. So I've been doing this since the beginning of January 2021 and I've been sharing this journey online, so via this channel, via Instagram and via a Facebook group since the end of last year. So the aim of these videos is to just offer you advice, support, especially if you're new to selling on Amazon. So if there is anything specific you would like to see, please do let me know and I'll do my very best to help you. So you can either pop a comment below or jump in our Facebook group. It's a great group, we've got a really good community, lots of people there willing to help out. So do jump in there, ask the question, I'm sure you'll get lots of support. So I recently asked over on that group, what's the one thing you wish you knew when you were first starting on Amazon, and what is the one piece of advice you would give to someone else that is just getting started now? Now I found it really quite interesting that a lot of people give the same answer, so this just shows that we've all encountered similar problems along our own journeys. So I want to go through a few of these with you today, just break them down so hopefully you can learn from other people's mistakes and not have to deal with these same problems yourself. So firstly, we have go wide and not deep. So this is one of the most important pieces of advice I would give to any of my students, and by this we mean don't plough all that investment into just one or two products. It's far better to make smaller purchases, spread that investment out over a number of different items. So if you have £1,000 for example, and you split that money 50-50 between two different items, one of those items turns out to be a bad buy, you could potentially lose £500 on stock that you just cannot shift. Now this will have an instant impact on that cash flow and it could leave you struggling to make any more purchases. Now instead of investing that £1,000 into two products, you could spread it wider, invest into 10 different products. Now whilst there is a good chance that you'll sell out fast and you'll need to replenish that stock, this does reduce those risks. Now obviously if you find a great item and that stock moves really fast, you've got a good profit margin and a good return on investment, it would definitely be worth investing more money into it. Just be sure to analyse the deal and check all that competition data every single time you replenish, as things on Amazon can change very quickly. So that then leads us on to our next piece of advice. Get yourself a good deal analysing software and make sure you carry out a thorough analysis of every single item you purchase. Now again, this will just help to reduce that risk of bad buys. You'll be able to get a great idea of predicted sales, you'll be able to see all the competition data, and you'll be able to see all the historical data as well, and this can just help to give you a really good indication of whether or not to buy that item. Now for this, I would recommend you get a software like BuyBot Pro. It has so many great features that will make the sourcing, the analysing so much easier, and it's got an app as well for iOS and Android, so you can use this when you're doing retail arbitrage. If you're out on the go, just pull your phone out, analyse a deal. It's so simple. This software is an absolute game changer and it is one that I would definitely recommend to anyone that's just getting started. Now when you are looking at that competition data, make sure you check the brand owner is not on the listing. So most softwares will notify you via an IP alert if they believe there's a problem with that brand being on the listing, and you might be issued an IP complaint, but it is always worth just getting into the habit of checking this yourself. Now receiving an IP complaint, so that's intellectual property complaint from a brand, can cause you some big issues and it could result in your account getting suspended. Now a suspended account is not ideal for anyone. You'll need to submit a plan of action to Amazon, you won't be able to make any sales and you won't be able to receive any money that's owed to you either. Now worst case, you could even lose that account altogether, so just be really careful and be aware of any potential IP issues. Then next we have keep feeding the beast. So this is a phrase used quite a lot by experienced sellers and it just means keep that stock going into Amazon. Keep it moving all the time, keep on top of those replenishable items as well. As fast as you are selling stock, you want to be sending more back in. If you wait around, you could lose yourself potential sales. You want to be sending shipments in on a very regular basis. Now it can be difficult to get those stock levels right, but this is where that deal analysing software comes into play. Using those historical data charts, using those estimated sales, you should be able to get a really good idea of how much stock you need to send in. Now once you get that ball rolling, don't start slacking off, keep it going, keep it moving, and those profits will start to snowball. So moving on to the next one, another great piece of advice is check all expiry dates. Now you might find yourself in a store in a clearance section and you find some great items that almost seem too good to be true. So you've analysed them, the sales are great, it's got a great profit margin, it's got a great return on investment, but then you make the purchase, you get them home and you find they've got a very short shelf life. Now Amazon have very strict guidelines when it comes to expiry date products, and if you don't follow these guidelines you could put your account at risk. So all items need sufficient time to be used, plus an extra 90 days on top. Now when you're doing your prepping, you must put expiry dated labels on the outside of the packaging so Amazon can keep an eye on those dates. Now this just helps to prevent any expiry dated products being sent on to those customers. Now always check those dates before you make any purchase. If you send those items into Amazon and they do not have sufficient time, they reserve the right to destroy all that stock. Then the last thing I wanted to look at is getting too caught up in that stock. Now there will be times when you have items that are just not shifting. Now this could be because other sellers jumped on the listing, they've got a huge number of stock, or maybe Amazon have jumped on that listing, they've undercut you to the point where you just cannot afford to compete. Now whilst that stock is sat on Amazon shelves, it is costing you in storage fees. Now you may just have to bite the bullet, get that stock back, or reduce the price right down so you are selling at a slight loss just to get that original investment back. Now it's pointless holding on to that stock if it's going to cost you more money in the long run. Make the decision, deal with it, and use that cash flow to move on with new stock. Now it's inevitable that we'll all make mistakes from time to time. Nobody is perfect, but what we need to do is learn from these mistakes, use that knowledge to move forward. The things I've just mentioned are things that I hear on a very regular basis, so just bear this in mind as you're navigating your way through this Amazon journey. So I hope that's just helped give you a bit of an insight into issues other sellers have had early on in their journey, and hopefully you can avoid making the same mistakes. Now if you have any questions at all, please do let me know. Pop a comment below, jump in our Facebook group, I'll do whatever I can to help you. But for now, thank you very much for watching, take care, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.